Hey everyone, have you ever splurged on a cheap security camera kit because the price looked too good to pass up, only to find yourself staring at grainy night footage and endless false alarms? I've been there, and the frustration of a budget system that never really delivered is what makes me pause before any purchase. The question you keep hearing from friends and forums is there a system that actually works without turning your wallet inside out? That's why today I'm digging into the ZOSI C220 4K PoE security camera system, a 24-camera package that promises AI detection, 4K clarity, and a whole lot more. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about why a lot of DIY security rigs fall short. Most entry-level kits rely on subpar lenses, weak night vision LEDs, and a shaky software interface that makes setting up alerts a nightmare. You end up with a dozen cameras that either miss motion entirely or keep pinging you about every passing car. That's the kind of buyer regret that turns a simple home security upgrade into a daily annoyance. So, does the ZOSI C220 feel like a smarter buy, or is it just another glossy promise? The most obvious selling point is the sheer amount of hardware you get out of the box. 24 8MP PoE IP cameras, a 32-channel NVR with a built-in 8TB HDD, and a PoE switch all in one package. For a property the size of an average suburban home, that coverage translates to roughly 1 camera per 150 square feet, which is more than enough to eliminate blind spots. If you're looking to monitor a large backyard, a detached garage, or multiple entry points, this density can actually save you the hassle of buying additional extension cables or extra NVR slots later on. What makes the system feel more plug-and-play than other kits is the PoE switch. By feeding power and data over a single Ethernet cable, you avoid the clutter of separate adapters for each camera. In practice, setting up the entire network took me about an hour. Run the Ethernet from the NVR to a central point, connect the cameras, and you're essentially done. The setup UI on the NVR is fairly straightforward. You power on, the system auto-detects all connected cameras, and you can assign them to zones with a few clicks. I'll be honest, there's a bit of a learning curve if you've never worked with PoE before, but the on-screen prompts are clear enough that even a first-time installer can get the essential functions up and running without diving into the manual for hours. Now, let's talk about image quality. The 8MP sensors deliver crisp 4K footage, which is a noticeable upgrade compared to the typical 1080p kits you find on discount sites. When I tested the cameras during daylight, text on a license plate was legible from 30 feet away, and the color reproduction was accurate enough that you could distinguish a blue shirt from a gray one without any post-processing. Nighttime performance is where the C220 really tries to shine. Each lens includes a 100-foot infrared array, and the footage remains surprisingly detailed even in total darkness. The IR LEDs are strong enough that you can see a person walking the perimeter at the edge of the property with minimal blur. AI detection is another headline feature that deserves a realistic look. The system claims to differentiate between humans, vehicles, and even faces, sending you smart alerts only when relevant activity occurs. In my testing, the human detection worked fairly well. Walking adults triggered alerts, while passing cats or stray squirrels were generally ignored. Vehicle detection, however, could be a bit too sensitive. A bike passing under a low overhang sometimes slipped through as a car, prompting a notification. Face detection is still in its early stage. It recognizes a face but doesn't yet identify who it belongs to, which is fine for general security but not for detailed access logs. The takeaway is that AI helps cut down on false alarms, but you'll still want to tweak the sensitivity settings to match your environment. Two-way audio is a feature that often gets overlooked until you need it. The built-in microphone and speaker on each camera let you speak through the unit from your phone or the NVR interface. I used it once to warn a delivery driver that they had the wrong gate code, and the voice came through clearly enough that they responded immediately. If you need a deterrent voice or want to communicate with a family member in the driveway, this works nicely. Keep in mind that the audio quality isn't studio grade, but it's more than adequate for simple messages. So, who should consider buying this system? If you own a medium to large property, run a small home-based business, or simply want an all-in-one solution that can grow with you, the ZOSI C220 is a solid contender. The high camera count and 8TB storage give you enough headroom for year-long retention without having to rotate drives or worry about memory constraints. The AI functionality is particularly useful for households that get frequent foot traffic. Think kids coming home from school or a regular delivery schedule, so you're not